Hello and welcome to video 2 in the Shark Tank series. In this video, we are going to take the results of our smart map search from the previous video and turn them into sites, and then we're going to run a suitability analysis on these sites. Now, this should be pretty much identical to the screen we left off on. I think I centralized my United States a little bit on my screen, but other than that, it should look the same. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to use this menu on the right hand side. We've been on this hand or pan and zoom button the whole time. We want to go to the one below it or the arrow and click select. Then all you have to do is go somewhere above your top site, click and drag in a way that catches all of them. You'll know you have them all if this number 41 matches the number from the smart map, and it does. So make sure you're clicking create sites and not create sites for combined areas. If you click this button by accident, you'll have one site instead of 41. So we're gonna go ahead and click create sites. And then we're gonna create 41 sites. You do have to give it a name. So just use your product name. I'm gonna call mine Shark Tank Sites. Yours would be product name sites. Save. Go ahead and close that pop-up and immediately switch back to the pan and zoom button. Do not stay on selection because any clicking you do on the screen will try to select things. So that's to save you headache later. Now we are going to run an analysis, and the one we're going to use is the suitability analysis. So suitability analysis is going to combine all of our variables into one final calculation and then rank them. So even though we took a minute to make sites, it still maxes out at 30 for whatever reason. So we're just going to click features on the map. So change from your sites to features on the map. Click next. And it got 41 out of 41. It also changed the extent to show just the areas that are available. We go ahead and click next. Lastly, we select criteria. Now, you'll notice if you go to my lists, it's just showing the suitability list, not all of your lists. So we still need to go to select criteria, add variable from data browser, and then you can go to save lists. I have no idea why it's like this. There are things in this program that make perfect sense, and there are other things that just make you shake your head. This is one of them. Under my saved lists, I have my smart map search. I'm going to go ahead and check that box, which will give me my 7 variables, and I can apply. Okay, we have the correct geometry, so we don't have to fix that. I am going to go ahead and collapse this menu for now so I can see my variables just a little bit better. Every time I move the map, it changes. So just be careful, use minimal movement. But I do have to change these calculation types. So count is default. You're going to click them and go to index. Index. You get the idea. Okay, I'm going to put back my results window. And I can see that according to this, Douglas County, Colorado has my highest score, with Hamilton County, Indiana, and Dallas County, Iowa being the next two. So I can look at my table. Expand that a little bit more, and I can see these final scores. I can also see how everything was calculated. So I'm going to go ahead and collapse that twice for now. And I am going to look at my scoring methods. So I want to combine my values. I do want to look at the weighting, so I am going to adjust weights. And what you'll notice is that they are all equal at about 14%, and that's just what 100 divided by 7 is. If I think that some of these are more important than others, for example, really all of these seem pretty equal, but let's just say this one's more important, I can slide this over. It changes the percent of the one and then adjusts all the rest of them accordingly. It did change my number one site. So this county, Dallas County, Iowa, seems to be much higher in shopping at Hobby Lobby than some of the other ones. I can also reset these if I don't like how it worked, so I can just reset wedding. I'm gonna go ahead and click done. I would like you to add one last variable. We've been looking at indexes, but we have not considered population at all. So if, for example, this county doesn't have many people, I might want to, or it might not be the best county for me. So I am going to add criteria, variables from data browser, click on population, and then I'm going to do 2026 total population Esri. And I'm going to go ahead and apply. Turns out that Douglas County, Colorado does still have the highest population, but I wanted to be sure. You can go back to adjusting your weights, and if you would like the population to be more or less, you can move it. Now, this did actually change if I make my oh, I locked it. If I make my population 50% of the overall variables, that does change my number one to Texas. And just to take a look at these values, we're looking about 1 million for all of these top three. So that seems to be a decent population for my overall, and yet it does still fit above the national average for all of mine. I'm not saying you have to set it at 50%. I'm just saying as you increase the value of population, it will change your overall result. And if we look at Douglas County, Colorado, it only has 411,000, so there is a possibility that it may need to be scored lower. And then Collin County, Texas is number 2. So I might change the order of these. They're still very high, but Collin County, Texas should have probably more priority since it's going to reach a wider population. So part of the project is to change the weights, and that is how you do that. Lastly, we are going to save layer. This is our suitability analysis layer, and again, add the title of your product. Just let that save. You are going to want some screenshots. So if you click on the show filter, you can now see the range of each of these variables. And you are expected to have screenshots of this. It's going to take a couple. So maybe 2, 3 variables most in each of your screenshots. Again, make sure you do show the filter so you can show the range of these values. So 100 to 114, 112. There's a bigger range here in this toys and games. This is a 66 point increase versus just 12. This one is almost exactly the same, only a 6%. And then obviously there's no weighting in the total population. But you can see that very wide range from 14,000 people to 1 million. Okay, so make sure you're getting screenshots of that. And I did forget to mention that you do want screenshots of your smart map search. So we'll go ahead and I'll show you how to do those in this video as well. You're going to click on your heading. You'll see that we have all of these layers. So we have our 2 smart search, our matches only, and then both. We have our suitability Shark Tank, and we have our Shark Tank sites. We want all of the above. To get your screenshots for your smart map, you're going to hover over the top one, go to the 3 dots, and you want to edit layer. This is why you save everything. Okay, so same thing, these are still set. You do want to take an image of each of these so you can see that this one really isn't that different, but this one in particular, we've eliminated most of the data. Most of the data is below the national average. So again, here you could probably get 3 of these into a screenshot, but take a couple of screenshots. You don't have to worry about the total population on this one. We didn't have it before, so just your variables. Make sure you take some screenshots there. Okay, the last thing we are going to do in this video is we are going to share this data. So we're going to want to go back to our table of contents. I'm actually going to collapse this menu, and you'll see we have all of these layers. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the sites. I don't need that one. I do want my suitability, and I want both smart map layers. So the map looks a little odd at this point. If I go to share results, I want an ArcGIS web map. And I want these 3 selected. I want the suitability analysis, I want the smart map search results, and I want the example. I'm going to call this, well, you're going to call it the name of your product. I'm going to call it Shark Tank. It is very important that you click this Export Map Layers button. It will give you, again, the name of your layers as well as your map. You do not have to share with anybody. There's no extra layers turned on, but if there were, make sure you uncheck them. You can't undo the base map. It's automatic because you're exporting a map. And then you go ahead and click share. Give that a minute to load, and then we're going to go to the map in ArcGIS Online. Patience is key here. This whole project will take a couple days, so make sure you are saving. Anytime you refresh Business Analyst, you have the potential to lose the last thing you did if you didn't save it. This is the longest process in the project. There it goes. Okay, so you can go ahead and click here to access the map. That'll take you into ArcGIS Online. I'm going to go ahead and open a map viewer. And you'll see we have a couple of layers here. So this one, the Smart Map search results, this is all of the counties that passed. And then the example is all of the counties. For some reason, the suitability is not showing up, so I'm going to go to add. Should be this one. Okay, so suitability did not publish, which happens sometimes. So I'm going to go back to my map. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to turn off my Smart Map search results, potentially. I'm going to refresh my screen. You're seeing in real time what can go wrong, so makes it a good example video. Go back to my table of contents. I want my suitability layer. I'm going to click on it, so I'm going to go to edit layer. Going to not move. There it goes. Just save layer one more time. Give it a 2. If this worked for you the first time, obviously you don't have to do these extra steps, but sometimes things go wrong. So back to my list. I should just be able to export this. I'm going to share results, turn off my Smart Map. Still can't turn off my Smart Map. Okay, well, I'm going to go to share results, share as web map. I'm going to turn off my Smart Map. I'm going to call this Shark Tank Suitability. Click export again, share. That export hosted feature service should let me just be able to add this layer to my other map as soon as it is done. We'll see if that happens. I'm going to go to my video example. I'm going to go to add. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and add it. Oh, good. I don't know, it was having a fit the first time, but there you have it. So I do have my final scores. There's my ranked first county, and I do now have pop-ups that I can edit, which is something you definitely want to do. If you want to do 2 separate maps, here are just the Smart Map search results. So it just gives you the indexes for all of them. And then remember, you also have access to the full United States and what their values are. So again, with the pop-up, I can see that this particular county in Colorado, most of their criteria is under the national average. All right, don't forget to save. And you have now completed the map portion of this project.